I was passed a copy of that email only a few hours after it was received by a number of the people who I'd helped. So I remember seeing it when it literally hot off the press and just being absolutely gobsmacked that such significant, well, we'd call it, a big GDPR breach. But to have all of those contact details of, my former LECs and I'd imagine members of the triples and family members and whatever else, it was just shocking, because we all know today what people can do with that sort of data, and it's easily done to spoof people who are desperate to get to the UK. Back in 21, people would have given their arms and legs to get here. So they could have easily been spoofed by malignant actors and revealed where they were, who they were with, and God only knows what people should have, would have, could have done with that information. It was devastating to see it, and I told all interpreters I was dealing with, just keep a copy of it, don't reply to it, and block the person that sent that to you, because you don't know where it's going to go.
So just to clarify, how had they been contacted and what was being asked of them?
It was an email that came out from an MOD account saying, we're just checking on all of your contact details so that we can process you through our app. Please provide, please validate name, where you are, what your service was, and various other things. And I just told my guys, do not reply to it, because you cannot validate who that's from, and that was my biggest concern, that it was already a spear phishing attack, a spoof, something like that. So I just said, leave it alone, don't touch it.
The interpreters you were speaking to, how did they feel when they received that email and they then listened to your advice? I can imagine quite scared.
Yeah, fear, again, disbelief. They were all very used to their security around their employment whilst they were working for us. They didn't reveal it to friends and family because you don't know where that was going to get to. So to have something like this and to see all the emails from an unknown contact within the MOD, they just like, boss, what do I do with that? I don't feel safe with it. And it's like, leave it alone.
So there's different eligibility, isn't there, about whether they were on the front line or not. What do you think the right thing is to do in this case?
So each case has to be taken by its individual merits. Yes, the guys who were the field interpreters, patrol interpreters, were at a greater risk. But again, that comes back to the amount of time that they served. If they only served with us for a number of weeks, then they probably would have only had a week or two at their fob or their PB. So their exposure to threats on the outside of their location would have been minimal. Those who'd been with us for months, years, then their exposure, the threat to them was significant. There were, it was frequent that our guys, our seniors, were getting contacts, getting these mystery phone calls through to their duty mobile, and being told, we know who you are, we know what you're doing, we know where your family live. Think very carefully, because you should not be doing it. You're a traitor to Islam, you're a traitor to Afghanistan, and we will have our day. And that will spook you, particularly when threats are being made to your family who have got nothing to do with what you're doing. Did we lose people down to those threats? Highly likely. Have we got evidence of it? No. But there were lots of really nasty stuff going on, which really rattled and perturbed and scared our people, which is unfortunate. And this, again, things like this, they make it worse. This wasn't the failure of one person. This was a failure of the process and of the wider team. So if this is just being pointed at one person who unfortunately copied and pasted all the emails into, their Outlook and sent it out, then that is grossly wrong and unjust. This was a system, a process failure, and a process of the team, because someone should have been checking, and then the checker should have been checked before anything went out to the LECs, because people should have known better about the personal security of these people who are very, very vulnerable. So, yeah, it's not one, it's many.
Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.